good place to hang out in the summertime. We've been in about 2 or 3 times a week for rugby class to be Vietnam. You ever heard that professional light at the end of the tunnel?
Oh, yeah.
Talk about that because that's pretty cool.
All right, you guys. Well, I hope you all enjoyed your tour. So that tunnel we just walked through is 550 feet long. It was blasted out in the 70s, and it took about 9 months to do so. The reason they did this is so we don't have to come through up here, which is the natural entrance of the cave. This goes back 300 feet. It takes an hour and a half of crawling to get down to here. It was first discovered in 1889 by the 2 teenage boys, Joe and Jake Fitzgerald. The land that was owned by a man named Colonel Henry Parson, and he paid these 2 teenage boys $1 a day to come down here and look for anything valuable. Unfortunately, they did not find anything, and later Colonel Henry Parson got shot. About 100 years later, in 1976, the land was purchased and commercialized, and we are first open to the public in 1978. So we're going to start heading to the natural part of the cave now, so make your way, just please watch your step. On this left, we are going to see our first formation. It's right at the bottom of the steps. It's a flowstone cascade.
Look at my shoestrings like you did. I didn't step on my hand the other time.
I had a kid in middle school that annoyed me, and what drove me crazy was having the untied shoelaces, and so ever since then I haven't tried shoes.
That makes sense.
Made sense at the time.
Sometimes all habits is hard to break.
Yeah.
I got at least been turned full. That's cool, man.
Alright, so this is our Colossal dome room. If you look in the center here, we'll see our largest formation. This bottom part is called stalagmite, and it might grow to reach the ceiling. This top part is called stalactite, and it holds tight to the ceiling. When these two come together, they form into what we call a column. This is our fastest growing formation. It grows at the rapid rate of 1 cubic inch per 100 years. So something you're going to see around the cave today is these domes above the ceiling. These are called scallops. So when the water is in here, it swirls around in these, slowly eroding away at the limestone. A bigger example of this is up here. This is called a solution hole. So in about 10 to 15 days, it is going to come collapsing down right where you're standing. I'm just kidding. We actually have about 1,500 to 2,000 years, but feel free to come back for our skylight then. All right, you guys can walk up and down these steps here. It is a dead end up here.
We got it. Yeah, probably like say after pictures. About 3. I'm looking at the wishing wheel. That's almost like a small sign.
Fourteen?
42.
Oh, 42.
Alright, so this is our fairway room. In the center here we have our water. The water is 42 degrees and a foot deep. Underneath this foot of water is a very soft clay. And underneath that is a mineral we call dolomite. So dolomite does not let a lot of water here. So that's kind of like a cereal bowl holding this water here for us to see. However, there's a lot of magnesium in it. If we were to drink this water today, it will work so laxative, we would not make it through my tour.
Understood.
So we look up here, you'll see these small formations. These are called soda straws. The reason we call them that is they're kind of shaped like one, and just like a soda straw, they are held in the center. As these grow larger and they form together, they're going to form into these drapery formations. And these will eventually form stuff glowstone that we saw earlier today. But if you guys look back here, you will see our abandoned tourist route. So that's just where I'm going to leave you guys. We actually just can't go back there anymore. There was a flood in the 80s, and the ground is just no longer stable for us to walk back there. However, you guys can't go back here, of course, just watch out for these 2 headache rocks.
Oh. Last person to ask this question. I'm just the right height.
Watch out.
Yeah.
You might shine your light in there one more time. Look what she's gonna shine.
Oh, Lord.
That's pretty cool footage right there. That's wicked looking.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys can tell, but the eyes are like red on the inside.
Yeah.
Did you see the salamanders in the water?
I seen some moving around. I didn't know if it was actually salamanders or just stripping right here.
They're really small. Oh my goodness. Kind of hard. Oh, there's a little one.
Yeah, that's one right there.
It's really small.
They kind of blend in. Yeah, they kind of blend in with the bottom of it.
Yeah.
It is cool. It's sort of hard to see. That's pretty cool looking down there. How many times a day do you do this?
Normally it's about 3, but yesterday 5. However, if there's anything with this you are uncomfortable with or just don't want to do, we have a bench up in the Colossal dome room, which of course can wait on. All we ask is that we do not remain on the stairwell, as the lights on the stairwell will be shut off.
We've been to several houses where murders and suicides have took place.
Oh wow.
Some of them ain't been a very pretty sight.
No, they haven't.
We've been into some places a lot where we stayed there, the worst things got stuff thrown around.
So do you guys just record anything that you see or just?
Basically. Yep. We've been doing it, what, 3 years now?
When I've got down in my house, it's not a very good family. I'm finding that out.
Woo.
In fact, I got a piece of an axe that was used at a 1959 axe murder house.
Oh my goodness. You just keep it?
Yep.
Actually, the weapon was never found. After I went over there and went through a walk through of the house, the guy called me about 2 weeks later. He said, I got something you may be interested in. His son was down in a barn using a metal detector. And I was putting the ground in some people call it a potato sack. Back in that area, it was been called a guano sack. But what was left over is an axe. We put luminol on the found blood stain on it.
Oh my gosh. That's I'd be freaked out.
Oh.
Now, where I'm at, in one section of the house, there's nothing but spirited dogs. We've done a lot of videos on that.
Wow. Yeah, so Mark Klein, his ghost tour, this is a bit more of like a show thing, but some of the other tours are more the ghost stories. I'm not exactly sure how to figure out how to get a different guide, but I know his are more show than stories, and the other guys are more stories.
But we've been to a lot of places, a lot of the best activities, there's some of these old man around, trying to find out But this guy, you know, I mean, I didn't know what person, this axe murder house, on the first person who's been, just took that, his hand down, generation to generation. The guy, physically dissected his wall, and put it up under the front porch. He said, when you go on the front porch, he said, be careful, he said, two of the boards are still loose when they recovered the body.
So this is our well room. On the center here we have some water. This water's a little bit different than the water we saw before. When we went to it's different, it's moving. Flowing from back here down to this hole where it goes to an underground water room. We call this the blue room. Eventually it flows to the Cedar Creek, which runs along the natural bridge. This water is also very fresh and very clean as it comes from an underground spring. So in theory, we could drink this water. We do not throw any coins in this water. There is wildlife living inside the water, and we do not want to harm them. But if we look above our heads, you'll see this large stress fracture. This goes up 100 feet, and then right above it, another 247 feet. So we're about 34 stories underground right now, which makes this the deepest commercialized caverns on the East Coast. We can see some pictures in the rocks. This over here looks like a conch shell or a little gnome. The one up here looks like a hornet's nest. On the back of this rock, we got some Cape Bacon up there. This one looks like a willow tree. And then we got a big one up here. It looks like a head of a T-Rex. The nose, the eye, the teeth, and the jaw. Alright, guys, come on around. Just watch out for the mud that's on this side of the bridge. Alright, these lights go off in 3, 2, 1.
Ooh.
So if you're seeing something now, you are hallucinating. So it takes about an hour before you start hallucinating in this darkness. That is the reason for some of the cave stories that we get. People just you spend too much time with the lights off. When they were coming through here, they just had small kerosene lanterns, which are about this bright, so you can see a little bit of the people around you, and that's about it. If these were ever tilted, all the oil would spill out, and we put them in the dark. Alright, so I'm going to turn this backlight on. You guys can take as many photos of it as you'd like.
He's recording.
When this gentleman comes out. Yeah, open through that. Wow, it is pretty tight.
Yeah.
Am I? Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Let's go back. Wait, wait, wait. Miles, you don't need to go all the way back there. No. It's just this.
I know, if you stay right there, Dakota, in a minute, I'm gonna hand this phone back to you. I'm gonna walk down here as far as I can and get some footage.
Alright, Miles.
This is about the perfect size to get through here. Alright. I'm gonna walk down here as far as I can go. Alright. Yeah, I'm coming back to you. Don't help out a whole lot. All right.